morning. And it's a joy to see each of you and all of you. Amen. Giving all honor, glory, and praise to God for who He is, for what He has done, what He is doing, and what He's going to do. Pastor, and thank you for the opportunity to come this morning and to share God's Word. As Pastor Lovins always say, every Sunday is your Sunday. And we thank you for being so gracious and kind to help develop each of us and all of us. Amen. Now this morning, if you have your Bibles, and I know you do, I'm going to ask you to turn to Luke chapter 12. Starting at verse 15 through 21. Yeah, Luke chapter 12, verse 15 through 21. You read with me silently as I read aloud. And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness. For a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of things which he possesseth. And he spake this parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? Verse 21, so is he that layeth up treasure for himself, and is not rich toward God. Thank you. You may be seated. Amen. You know, this year, even last year, and every year, death at the end of the year has harvested a lot of lives. There are many times this past year that we've gone to the graveside to bury our loved ones. Even yesterday, I was down in Pine Bluff at a funeral for my brother's father-in-law. His wife's father died at the funeral yesterday. You know, the Bible tells us in Hebrews 9:27, says, it is once appointed that men should die, and after this the judgment. None of us know when it's time for us to go. But Amos chapter 4 verse 12 tells us, and this goes for all of us. It doesn't matter how old you are or how ugly you are. It goes for all of us. Amos 4:12 says, prepare to meet thy God. And the question that you and I must present to ourselves introspectively is, am I prepared to meet God? If you were to die this moment, where would your soul be? Yes, and those of us who know for sure where we're going to spend eternity, we have some elements and issues in our lives, in our relationship to God, that we also need to deal with. God, forgive our cold-hearted churches who are not concerned about the destiny of men. Amen. We ought to be broken-hearted over the destiny of men. Even this story this morning that we're going to present to you from Luke 12:15 through 21. I want to talk with you from these passages on this topic, the funeral of a fantastic fool.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Yes, indeed. Here was a man that was blessed graciously by God. As a matter of fact, if you look there in Luke 12:16, it says, and he spake a parable to them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. You know, we learned in the New Testament, Paul said, I have watered, and Apollos have planted, but where did the increase come from? God. He said, but God gave the increase. Here was a man. First of all, I want you to see in the life of this fantastic fool, the blessings in his life. God brought forth, his ground brought forth plentifully. And for his ground to bring forth plentifully is a point and proof that God had blessed his farm. And it ought to have been proof of God's existence in his life. You see, sometimes when we're blessed, we want to give ourselves the credit. Well, you know, like we have our success, we have pulled ourselves up with our own bootstraps. Yeah, I heard that before. Yes, indeed, that we paved our way. We were pioneers. But friend, any blessings in our lives, anything, any good and perfect gift in any of our lives, James chapter 1 verse 17 says, come from above. God is the one who has blessed us. And I heard a message preached not long ago that says, you're more blessed than you know. And that doesn't just include you, it includes me, it includes all of us. We are more blessed than we know. We ought to be giving honor, glory, and praise to God for the blessings that he has given in our lives. Paul said in Ephesians 1:3, he said, blessed be God, our Father, who hath blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Christ. Yeah. Every blessing we receive come from above. Yeah. But here was a man coming up to his funeral who did not acknowledge this. Now, I want to talk about the blessings in his life. He was blessed with a great farm. Yeah. He was blessed with life. He was blessed with ability. He was blessed with health and strength to be able to develop wealth. You see, Deuteronomy 8:18 said, it is the Lord thy God who giveth thee the power to get wealth. And here's a man whose land is bringing forth plentifully. And he's blessed beyond measure, but yet he's not giving God any credit for the blessings in his life. You know, that's like some of us. You can't give God credit and glory and blessings and complain at the same time. You see, the Bible tells us, all of us, in 1 Thessalonians 5:18, in everything give thanks. For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. You see, if you got a thankful spirit, you don't have a complaining spirit. Amen. Amen. Ephesians 5:20 says that we ought to be giving thanks always and for all things unto God the Father in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ by him. The blessings in this man's life, he was blessed with health and strength. He wasn't a paraplegic. No. He was able to get out and plant the farm. Yeah. You know, yes, he had a part in it. But God had a part in it, and he took God's credit for the part that God was doing. Well, you see, a farm that didn't come up on its own. That's right. Helen Steiner Rice wrote the poem, life without purpose is barren indeed. There can't be a harvest unless you plant seed. If you send no ships out, no ships will come in. Unless there's a contest, nobody can win. Games can't be won unless they're played. Prayers can't be answered unless they're prayed. So he was a farmer. Oh, yeah. But the strength that he had to do this farming, the blessing of strength, came from God. Yes, amen. I tell you what, sometimes we take our health for granted. A few months ago, when I couldn't stand on my feet without them hurting, I realized, Lord God, thank you for the ability. Just a couple weeks before that, I was out running young fellows. And 2 weeks later, I couldn't walk on my feet. Thank God for the blessing of health that He's given us. And if everything ain't just the way it ought to be in you, say thank you anyway, because then it is through that Thanksgiving that God will bring healing in our lives. Here's this fantastic food did not give glory and credit to God for the blessings in his life. Now, why do we say he was a fool?
Tell us.
I love the way Pastor put it. If you look at verse 20, the scripture said, but God said, thou fool. Pastor said, if God called you a fool, you don't need a second opinion. If God says, if the word of God says you're a fool, you ain't nothing but a fool. Now, how does the Bible define one as being a fool? Proverbs, or rather Psalms chapter 14 verse 1 and Psalms chapter 53 verse 1 both said the same thing. It said the fool has said in his heart that there is no God. So this man he was as blessed as he was and as successful as he was, had already determined in his heart that there is no God. That's why God called him a fool. Yes, he had the absence of God in his life, and he didn't even believe that God exists. Yes, indeed. But he had health and strength to farm, to plant seed, to plow road, and his farm bore forth plentifully.
Yes, sir.
That means you know he was working. Blessed to work. It's a blessing if you're able to work.
Yes, sir.
Some folks can't work, and some folks don't want to work. And the ones who are working don't want to work because the money they will make, part of it go to the folks who don't want to work. Yes, indeed. I heard the story about this brother down south. He had a brother up north. And his brother up north decided to come and visit him. And when his brother down north came, he looked at the farm and he said, man, God is really blessing your farm.
Yes, sir.
I've never seen beans that look like that. So plush and so green and so pretty.
Come on, Ken.
He said, man, God is working a miracle on your farm. So the brother from the south showed him around and he looked at the livestock. He said, man, these are the best looking horses and cows and livestock I've ever seen. He said, God is really working a miracle on your farm. He showed him 40 acres of cotton, and the cotton was so white and plush and ready to be picked. And he said, man, God is doing something on your farm. And the brother down south thought he'd rip him a little bit. He told him, he said, well, you should have seen his farm when the Lord was farming it by himself. You see, God needs a farmer. But the farmer ought to realize that the blessings come from above. Yes, he had the blessings in his life came from God, but he didn't acknowledge them. Here's the second thing I want you to see. I want you to see not only the blessings in his life, I want you to see the brilliance in his life. He was a fantastic fool. Now, he was brilliant. Look at verse 17 and 18. He said, and he thought within himself, yes, what shall I do? I have no room to bestow my fruits. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and goods. Now, first of all, notice he was an agriculturist. He knew about farming. Verse 16 said that his farm bore forth plentifully. He had to understand planting and agriculture to be able to make the farm do that. Had to know what seed to plant, how to plant them, the right fertilizer, how far apart to plant them. There are many elements. He was an agriculturist. Look how brilliant he is. But not only is he an agriculturist, look at verse 17. He said, and he thought within himself. He was an analyst. He knew how to analyze things. Not only was he an analyst, he thought within himself. He was introspective. Not only introspective, he said, look what he said, what shall I do? He was a consultant. You know, they call consultants and say, I got this problem, what should I do? And then he said, no room to bestow my goods. He was a problem solver. Yes, indeed. He said, and this will I do. Do you see that? Verse 18, then he said, this will I do. He was a decision maker. You see, George said multitudes in chapter 3, verse 14 will be caught in the valley of decision because they can't decide to decide. He was a problem solver and a decision maker. Look at what Esther said. He said, what will he do? I will pull down my barns. He was a demolitionist. That's what a demolitionist does, right? Tear stuff down. People get paid to do that. Matter of fact, I've done some demolition work and torn houses down and hauled them off for folks. But not only was he a demolitionist, look how fantastic he is. What does he say? He said, and I will tear down my barns and build greater. He was a contractor. A residential and commercial contractor. He's going to build a greater barn. Tear down the old and build a bigger. Yes, indeed. Too. Not only that, he said, I'm going to do, what are you going to do after that? And there will I bestow all my fruits and goods. He was a stockholder. What a fantastic, the brilliance in this fantastic fool's life. Look at what he says after that. He says, I'm going to bestow all my goods. Friend, what an ancient portrait we have here today of men and women in our day and age who have diamond and ruby ability, but they're worth no more to God than a punctured Japanese nigger in a Chinese mall. Come on! You ever tried to spend Japanese money in a Chinese mall? The Chinese are strict when it comes to money. The black guy took his girlfriend out. And I specified that it was a black guy. Our Caucasian brothers wouldn't do nothing like this. He took his girlfriend out to a Chinese food restaurant, Mark. He didn't have any money. He asked the girlfriend, do you need to use the bathroom? She said, yeah, I'll be right back. While she was gone, he reached in his pocket and pulled out a matchbox with a secret weapon. He opened the matchbox and put 2 dead flies on his plate and on hers. He called the waiter. He said, waiter, I got flies in my food. You know they're going to pay for this, do you know? The Chinese looked at him and said, shh, everybody might want one. You can't get away with that in no Chinese food restaurant. Don't take it to a Chinese food restaurant if you're going to do that. The brilliance that we have. The brilliance that this man had. But yet, he gave no credit to God. Here's the third thing I want you to see. Not only his blessings, not only his brilliance, I want you to see his business. The business in his life. Look there with me. From verse 16 all the way to 18, it tells us he was a farmer, he was a landowner, he was a builder, he was a barkeeper, he was a trader, he had storage buildings. He knew how to make money. But whatever we do, the Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 10:31, whatsoever you do, whether you eat or drink, do it all to the glory of God. If God puts you in business, he puts you in business for the glory of his name. You see, a lot of times we think we're going into business to get rich and make a name for ourselves and make money. But no, he allowed us to go in business that we may take the success of those businesses and glorify his name. Yes, indeed. But this rich man didn't realize that. Maybe he never heard the song or the statement that we always say, and there's only one life that soon will be passed. Only things done for Christ will last. His business life, a successful businessman he was, but he had the wrong concept of what success in life was all about. Remind me of a story I heard about a rich man who had put in his will how he wanted to die. He wanted to be buried in the front yard of his mansion in a gold Cadillac. And he said he wanted to be sitting in the driver's seat with white gloves on his hands, with his hands on the steering wheel, with a white suit and a bebop hat on. And he wanted to be sitting in the driver's seat of that Cadillac when he died as they lowered him into the grave that was dug in the front yard of his mansion. And a particular day came, the funeral was going, and they didn't allow everybody to come into the funeral. It was a gated community, but they were burying him in the front yard, And people gathered all around outside the fence, and two drunks were standing there with their hands on the fence, watching this rich man in a gold Cadillac with his hands on the steering wheel, with a bebop hat and his white suit on, being lowered down into the grave. And one drunk looked at the other one and said, man, this is what I call living. Man dead as a doorknob. That's what they call it. You see, the world got a messed up perspective of what life is all about. He didn't understand that his business was successful because God wanted to be glorified through his business.
Yeah.
His business life. Now, move on with me. Not only do I want you to see his blessings, his brilliance, and his business, I want you to see his boldness in verse 19. Look how bold he is. He said, I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Eat, drink, and be merry. Man, what boldness. Yes, indeed. How bold he is to make a statement like that, not knowing that the hounds of death had been let loose on his trail. And that he was going to meet God on that very night. Here he is, boldly saying, look, may we all remember James 4:14. It says, what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeared for a little time, then it vanishes away. None of us know when we're going to go. So James says, so when you go to do this and do that, always say, if it be the Lord's will, we will do this or do that. Here he is saying, so take it easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. But his boldness left God out the equation. You see, Mark 8:36 says, what does the profit man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul? Even if you could gain the whole world, which you couldn't. And even if you could gain the whole world, you couldn't keep it. Because one day you're going to leave here. He said, Mark 8:37 says, what will a man give in exchange for his soul? Would to God he had gotten God's word in him and he would have known these things. But listen to his boldness. So, take it easy. Take that easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. You see, 1 Timothy 5:6 says, she that liveth in pleasure while she liveth is dead. He was focused only on himself. He boldly pronouncing what he'll do on the next day. Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 1 says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Many a time the sermon I preached was the last sermon of the person that heard. None of us know when we're going to go. We need to make sure that we're right with God. Multitudes will be caught in the valley of decision. Hebrews 4:12 says, prepare to meet your God. Let me ask you a question. What would you give in exchange for your soul? All the money you wanted? Would you give your soul to the devil for all the money that you could spend in this lifetime? No. Would you give your soul to the devil for a big mansion and land? Well, what is it that's on this earth that's worth the value of your soul? Would you give your soul to the devil for a good-looking man like me? Or would you give your soul to the devil for a good-looking woman like my wife? Many people are. Because they're living in fornicating situations. I know how sensitive some of you ladies is. I'm going to tell this story anyway. And if you get mad and if I tell it, you can come up and apologize to me after church. But this is for the young man. Did you hear about the dog sleeping on the side of the railroad track? Yeah, did you hear that story? Some of you old men have never heard it. He fell asleep with his dog with his tail on the rail. The conductor looked up and saw him, and he laid down on the horn. And the dog was so mean, he raised his head up and looked back and laid back down. The noise of that train got closer and closer to the dog. He never moved. The train ran over the tip of his tail and cut his tail off. Made the dog so mad he jumped up to bite the train. And when he went to bite the train, he got his head cut off. The moral of that story is don't lose your head over a little piece of tail. Don't lose your soul over illegitimate sex when God says it can be fulfilled in marriage. Why do folks are losing their head over a little piece of tail?
Speaking to somebody.
Oh yeah. Is it that good that you give up eternity in heaven with God?
No.
It's boldness. So take it easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. Now, here's two other things I want to point out a little bit. Not only the blessings in his life, not only the brilliance in his life, not only the business in his life, not only the boldness in his life. So take it easy.
Well,
that's what everybody wants to live on easy street.
Yeah, you're right.
Proverbs 20 verse 17 says the bread of deceit is sweet.
Yeah.
But afterwards a man's mouth should be filled with gravel. Will any of you men here today let somebody put gravel in your mouth?
No.
But when you're dead, you can't help it. That's what he means. You're dead. Deception brings death.
Yes.
And they throw gravel in your face and in your mouth. They didn't used to have caskets and boxes that they put in. They put the gravel right in your face and in your mouth.
Yes, sir.
Deception bringing death. I want you to see his bondage. Bondage is in his life. What held this rich man, this fantastic fool, in bondage? Some of the same things that get a hold of us. Number one, held him in bondage. Look at verse 16. A certain rich man, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth how? Plentifully. That was the first thing that held him in bondage.
Yeah.
He had plenty.
Yes, sir.
You know what the proverb says? The Proverbian in chapter 30, he said, Lord, don't make me rich. He said, but feed me with what's necessary. Lest I be rich and deny thee. Lest I be poor and despise thee. He said, feed me with necessary meat. But one of the things that held him in bondage was plenty. He had plenty.
Amen.
He had enough money that he could take a wet mule and put him in Arkansas River and burn him up. Now that's money. Enough money to burn a wet mule in Arkansas River. And you still ain't hungry. But he was in bondage by plenty. With the God that we would learn what Paul said in Philippians 4:11. He said, I have learned that whatever state that I'm in, therewith to be what? Content. Yeah. Contentment is what we all need. Yeah. You see, you can move over into the realm of dangerous desires when you're not content. Amen. You see, we're driving down the highway of life, and we need to stay between the lines on the highway of life, because when we go past the guardrails, we're getting into the danger zone. Yes, and we can do the same thing with our desires. We can have dangerous desires. Yes, sir. Moses painted a picture for us on how we can keep our desires straight. Yeah. In Exodus chapter 20, he came to the last commandment. And that last commandment tells us how to keep our desires straight. Well, he said, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. There are 7 things, he says, of your neighbors you should never want. Amen. Number 1 on the list is his wife. Number 2 is his house. If he got a big house on the hill, a big mansion on the hill, thank God for him and let him be blessed. But don't desire his house. Amen. Because God can bless you with your own wife and with your own house. Yes, indeed. To be content. And then he said, don't desire his maidservant. Amen. In other words, his female employee. You see, let's go back to number 1. If you be content with how your wife looks and how she treats you, then if you're satisfied at home, you're not going to look very fine.
Yeah, amen. That's true.
A man whose hunger has been satisfied ain't looking to eat nowhere.
No.
Wives, keep your husbands fed. Yeah, but a dissatisfied man, a hungry man, even a plate of cornbread crumbs look good to him. Male service. Then he says, man service. That's a male employee.
Yeah.
Don't desire somebody else's employee, you have your own. Then he says, ox. You know the ox is a tractor. A big John Deere tractor. He said, don't desire somebody else's big John Deere. And then he talks about the donkey. What's the donkey? The donkey is the car, the mode of transportation. Man. He said, don't desire somebody else's transportation. And then he gives us the second thing, not to desire. He said, nor anything that is thy neighbor. If we would keep our desires in the perimeter of the highway, then we wouldn't move into the arena of dangerous desires. He was held bondage by pleasure. Second, he was held bondage by his possession. You notice what he said in verse 17 and 18? He thought within himself and said, what shall I do? I have no room to bestow my fruits. He said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns, and I will build greater. He said, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. He was in bondage by his possessions. Friend, God don't want you to allow things to possess you. He wants you to possess things. He don't want you to love things and use people. He wants you to love people and use things. Yeah, when we love people and use things, then we don't want to be so stingy. Some of us are in love with our pockets being full. We in love with them, we in hate with them not being full, so what little we got, we ain't giving up. But if we love people and use things, then we'll open up our hearts and our hands to give. I think they're going to be asking you for a gift today. That's a good point to remember when they ask you for it.
Amen.
I done put myself out there now to give a gift too, see? Here's the third thing that he was in bondage by. Verse 19. Not only was he in bondage by pleasure and in bondage by possession, he was in bondage by pleasure. That's what verse 19 was all about. So, take it easy. Live it up. Get all the gusto you can. You only go around once in life. Take all your goods and put them in the can. Put the lid on the can and sit on the can. It was all about his pleasure. We need to remember that one man's biscuit is another man's donut. One man's pain is another man's pleasure. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And it all depends on how you measure. He was not measuring according to the standard of God. Here's the fourth thing that held him in bondage. Not only plenty and possessions and pleasure, but he was held, and you can read this between the lines, he was held in bondage by his pride. James 4:6 says, God resisted the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. James 4:10 says, humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, and in due time he will lift you up. Yes, indeed, he was held bondage. I wonder who's possessing who. Heard the story of this soldier in the army. He called out to his captain. He said, Captain, I've taken a prisoner. What do you want me to do with him? The captain said, bring him with you. He said, Captain, he won't come. He said, what do you want me to do? He said, leave him there and come on. He said, Captain, he won't let me go. I wonder who's taking who prisoner. There's abundances in this life. But then finally, not only the blessings in his life and the brilliance, the business in his life, his boldness and his abundance. But now look with me in verse 20. His burden in life. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Now he must bear his cross alone into eternity without Christ. Now he faces the oppression of hell forever with no way out. The burden that he's going to have to bear throughout the endless ages of eternity. And the word of God that we would have a broken heart over the destiny of men. And remember the words of Paul Laurence Dunbar in his poem, The Debt, and realize that each of us and all of us and every last one of us have a debt to pay.
Amen.
He says, this is the price I paid for one riotous day. Years of regret and grief and sorrow without relief. Pay it I will to the end. Unto the grave, my friend. Give me sweet release and a clap of peace. Slight was the thing I bought. Small was the thing I thought. Poor was the loan at best. But oh God, the interest. Friend, we have a debt to pay. Yes, indeed, if we have salvation and the love of God in our hearts, we need to become brokenhearted over the lost souls of men and women. We need to have a broken heart over the destiny of men. And we need to be spreading the word of God, because here, the funeral of this fantastic fool plunged him into an eternity without the Father. Can you see him now in the bottomless pit? Hell is a bottomless pit. There's no bottom there. So that means he's falling forever. Jesus said the worms die not, and they eat away as the spirit and the flesh. The fire is burning. Here, a fantastic fool without the Father is spending eternity forever. In these conditions, do you want to be there? No. We ought to have compassion for those that we can snatch out of the fire now. Yes, indeed. Amen. Because it's a funeral for this fantastic fool. But the problem is, here's the problem, and I'm going to stop right here. You see, we live in a hell-bent world in a dry-eyed church. The psalmist said in Psalms 125, verse 5 and 6, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth bearing precious seed shall doubtless come again, bringing his sheaves with him. You see, friend, the reason we're not out winning souls is that we haven't really prayed with a broken heart that God would save lost souls. We haven't prayed with a broken heart. God, what do you mean to bring them in? The old song says, bringing in the sheaves. Bringing in the sheaves. We shall come rejoicing. Bringing in the sheaves. Are we bringing in the sheaves? Must I empty-handed go? Must I meet my Savior soul without one soul with which to greet him? Yes, indeed. If you think, my friends, on the destiny of men, we'd get our hearts right with God. We'd get our souls and relationships right with each other. And become soul winners to men and women, boys and girls who are going to spend eternity in hell because nobody ever spoke of it. Most Christians are like Arctic rivers at the mouth. Frozen. Won't say a word for God. Two people. And we can pray, but it's better to pray and not go than to go and not pray. But we need to pray and go. And bring in souls. A mother was at a revival. And she asked the evangelist, she said, I've lived a life before my boys. I prayed for my boys. And yet they're not saved. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? He said, give me one night, and I'll give you an answer tomorrow night. He came back to her that night, that next night, and he said, the reason your boys are not saved is because your eyes are dry. And she realized that she really hadn't prayed for her boys with a broken heart. And so that night she determined, before the revival meeting was over, that she would pray for her boys. That she would pray for them with a broken heart. And that night she got on her knees in her room and she began to pray, God, oh God, with a broken heart, save Johnny. Oh God, save James. Oh God, touch their hearts. Yeah. Oh God, save them. And she cried and poured out her heart before God to save her boys. Yeah. And that morning she got up and she said, James, come here. I want to talk to you about being saved. He said, never mind, Mama. I'm already saved. She said, when did you get saved? She said, Mama, I walked past your bedroom last night and you were praying for me and you were crying with a broken heart and it touched me and I gave my life to Jesus. She called the other boy. She said, come here. I want to talk to you about being saved. He said, never mind, Mama. She said, I'm already saved. She said, when did you get saved? He said, I heard you call James. I knew what you were calling about. So I just went out and gave my life to Jesus. Would to God we would have a broken heart over the lost souls of men and women, boys and girls who are on their way to hell. Oh, praise God. Touch the church. Touch all of us. Amen. That we're not the keepers of the aquarium, but that we would truly become fishers of men.